right, we are back with a special episode of Louder Than Hell. It's been a long time coming. We survived a winter storm, and then last week we survived losing an episode for our 1 year anniversary. So we're doing it again this week. We're gonna get it right, and we're gonna have a good time doing it.
Yep.
So guys, just catch me up again. How are y'all doing after the winter storm we experienced 2 weeks ago?
Oh, dude, I'm doing pretty great actually. Just working along, trying to forget that ever happened, really.
Dude, I feel the same way. My AC coolant is still out in my apartment, but luckily it hasn't been hot, so it's been staying. If I keep my window open overnight, it'll stay like pretty cool in my apartment. So they say they finally got the part in like 1 or 2 days. I should like have full working AC again.
That's good. Yeah, I actually only lost power for like 10 hours and it was at nighttime, so it wasn't even that bad. And now you can see that I got sunburned today at my new job. So you know how crazy Texas weather is.
Right. Yeah. I love how you just have the red background to match your face.
Yeah. I'm trying to not make it look not as bad.
There you go. There you go. Now I've ruined it because I brought it up and I've addressed it. My bad. But we've gotten a lot of new music we haven't really gotten to talk about in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm dying over here, dude.
Yeah, I was in the middle of the storm. That new Gojira track came out, "Born for One Thing," and that was just like uplifted my spirits during all that winter crap.
For sure.
Just because it's such a fun song, like it's just so like vintage Gojira. Like they've really found their sound and like found what makes them unique in metal. And I think like from the first two songs I've heard, they've just been fully what's it called when like you not believing in yourself, but like, selling yourself. Like they've really selling themselves and like really like risking it all, I think, on this album, but like just finding who they are. And using that kind of like when you get to like where AC/DC knows what they sound like, or like Van Halen knows what they sound like.
I feel like they've experimented with their sound enough to a point where like they can take elements from everything they've experimented with and come together like perfectly, just like Dream Theater does. It's perfect. Like this, I feel like this album is really just gonna throw Gojira through this decade as one of the biggest metal bands that we're gonna have around. And like one of my favorite things about Born for One Thing is that like groovy bass slide in the middle of the chorus. Oh my gosh, it's so like hypnotizing.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite like things I noticed is like when I was listening, like, oh my god, the production, the way like how groovy the bass sounds, and the way it's mixed into the song is just so cool. I'm excited for the album. I think there's rumors that we're supposed to get it in April. I have yet to see that confirmed, but to go back on what you said about them being like the biggest metal band in the next 10 years, the way I found out about Gojira is I was reading an interview of Kirk Hammett where he's like, someone asked him like, who do you see being the next Metallica? He's like, well, if it was my way, it'd be Gojira. I think they're like phenomenal. I was like, oh.
Ooh.
Imagine reading that and you're like, oh crap.
Oh man, just a reminder there
through the future, man.
Yeah,
that's so true. Yeah, didn't we miss them at a show too? Didn't we?
Yeah, it was Knotfest. They were. I remember hearing Flying Whales as they were as we were walking into the Knotfest. But
yeah, dude. Oh
I'm
my
so
gosh.
glad I got to see them. But like, I really also wanted to see Behemoth too, at least a little bit. But I didn't end up seeing them. But we got there in time to see Gojira, and they were like so good. Like I was banging my head the entire time. I couldn't stop. Plus, Slipknot did a really great show too. I think that was my second time seeing them.
Well, they are actually, Gojira's going to be in Houston in August or September for that Deftones show. And I think it's time to talk about it, guys. Like, Vaccines are rolling out like crazy.
Oh,
Texas is going balls out and just said, fuck a mandate. Like, we're open for business, which is probably a little too soon, but we won't get into that. But hope is on the horizon.
I got my first one today.
What?
I got my first COVID shot today.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What are feeling any side effects yet?
No, I felt like some chills earlier today. That's it.
Okay.
Like I feel totally fine.
Awesome. Any mutations?
No, I hear everything a lot better though.
Interesting. Okay. Have you
Like,
been able
it's
to
like-
move metal with your hands or been able to read your girlfriend's mind?
This can't be a Magneto kind of thing. No, I'm kidding though. I feel fine. It's totally great. I get my next one in a couple weeks, and I can't wait. We're gonna go all over the world. Oh, it's gonna be nice. Slightly less anxious now.
There we go. Yeah. So we are one step closer, guys, to being back to normal. I don't know. Realistically, it's hard to predict, but as long as things keep going the way they are, I see it progressing a little bit into the fall. And then I feel like summer 2022 is just when all hell breaks loose and every band ever is on tour.
You're like, I don't know which show to go to, bro.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I was talking about this with a friend in general because it's all entertainment is going to have this interest. Like, it's going to be interesting because there's only so many days in a year and there's only so many venues around the world, especially there's less now. So many have closed.
No, that's true.
Everyone, and you like all the bands are going to be on tour. All the comedians are going to be on tour. All the plays, all arts are going to be all over the place. So it's really going to drive tickets plummet, I think, because the demand, like there's just so much competition. One thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, everyone's ready to spend money on those kinds of things. So it's just going to be interesting of like what ticket prices look like. And, like I don't imagine all the top pop artists, rock artists are gonna, like those will still be the same. They'll be still selling out like crazy. It's more of like those mid-level bands and artists that I think are really going to
like the $20 tickets.
Yeah. Those are going to be interesting. But I also think we're going to see some killer lineups because you're going to have to package it. So like,
Oh yeah. A lot of these bands are going to want to tour together probably. Like
yeah,
they've been doing collaborations on Zoom and like they're releasing it to us all the time, like this year and this past year. So I feel like we're going to get like you said, some killer lineups, dude. I really hope that we get to see the Pretty Reckless live this year, though. Like, oh my god!
I hope we do too. I've been loving that Death by Rock and Roll album.
Yes,
just classic me. Here's the singles, like it's okay, and then the album comes out, and I'm like, wait, these songs have been out for months, and I just haven't been appreciating them. My favorite track on the album so far the last 2 weeks has been out is "Become Rock and Roll Heaven." Because it's kind of like a love song to rock and roll itself, and it's about a song about like falling in love with music, which I think is something the three of us can relate to.
Yeah.
And it just paints that picture of music finding you and like you trying to return the favor to put more music out in the world for others. That's a beautiful song. Death by Rock and Roll, the title track's really fun. 25 is a really fun song. I'm assuming she wrote that when she was 25. I learned that she's 27 now.
Oh, she's our age.
Yeah. And I was like thinking like, man, I saw her 5-6 years ago and she's like, yeah, she's only like 21, 22 when I met them. Cause I did the meet and greet. It was Pretty Reckless and Hailstorm. What a killer lineup. Just two badass female-fronted bands.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Cool. What year was that?
2014 or 15. I was right when I was just starting out college. So these are either my freshman or sophomore year of college.
Dude, that must have been amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. One of my favorite songs on the new album is Turning Gold and Witches Burn as well. I feel like that was like the song that like came to fruition with the teaser that we got in October.
Yes.
That was really awesome to hear. And My Bones, the drums are once again hypnotizing. It's a killer rhythm. I love it. But yeah, dude. And anything that Tom Morello gets on, we're gonna love. I already know that. And So It Went was awesome. I love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And then we had some features there too with some Matt Cameron and Kim Thale coming in on bass and guitar.
Dude.
Guys from Soundgarden, I believe. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Soundgarden.
Yes.
And I think one of them played in Pearl Jam as well. We were talking about this on the episode that got lost in.
It's in the lost tapes. It's the
Lost tapes. Yeah.
Can we call it like Buried at Sea or I don't know, Lost in the Cloud? How would that work?
Yeah.
Lost at Sea.
It
Lost at
evaporated.
With flying whales.
Oh my God.
Oh, back a good goes your reference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I think I forget what I rated it last week, but
Oh, I think you did like a 8.9 or something, or like a
no, that's too high. Greg did that. It was around
No.
It was around like a 7.8. 7.8.
yeah.
I did an 8.2.
Okay. Yeah, we were very close. We were very close.
Yeah, I did 8.2, and I know it's gonna grow on me. It has actually, like just listening to it, I was like, okay, we're gonna record tonight. I gotta listen to it again today. Just have it fresh on my mind. And it's still like just as fun to listen to as it was the first time.
Yeah, I would give a rating, but I have only listened to the first few songs, and so musical distractions as usual.
I was actually thinking today, I was just had such a crazy work day and had to get things done before we did this. And I was like, oh, I don't think I've listened to music all day, which is weird for me. So like at 6 p.m., I was getting some stuff done. I was like, okay, I'm just going to put on some music. And I was like, just thought of like, all right, random album. And the first thing that came to my mind was Get Your Wings by Aerosmith. Just a good background. Like, I mean, I've not worn that album out, but like know every song on the album. So it just becomes a good background album. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like you can just sing along the whole time.
Yeah.
And
Now,
that's
Connor, that album is like an 8.9, 9.1 kind of album. That
Oh yeah.
Wings by Aerosmith. Like it's got a great mix of the hits of like Same Old Song and Dance and Train Kept a Rolling.
Yeah, I know that's like I think that's like one of your favorite Aerosmith albums, right?
No, one of my favorite albums of all time is Rocks by Aerosmith. That's like that's where like a 9.8. Like that's just like rock and roll heaven up there. Like
yeah, that's a solid 9.8 right there.
Yeah, that's
solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
But my favorite two of my favorite Aerosmith deep tracks are on Get Your Wings, and that's Lord of the Thighs and Women of the World. Or Women of the World. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the riff on Lord of the Thighs. It's so catchy.
Yeah, is Lord of the Thighs a deep track, do you think? I mean, it's hard because like I'm such a big Aerosmith fan, so
I am too. I'll admit. I like Aerosmith.
Yeah, so it's a weird like you get some Aerosmith haters. It's weird. Oh, I've seen them on like Line and stuff. Like people they think they're a cheesy band, and I guess just because they've become a parody of themselves in a way, just because they're so big. But people forget the albums they put out in the 70s, some of the most pure rock albums of all time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm taking a history of rock and roll class this semester, and we're rolling through the 60s right now, just getting into Beatlemania, and the next chapter is the 70s, and it's like, I'm so excited just to be able to relate to
Hang
it.
in there, buddy. The Dream Theater chapter is coming.
I know. Thank you. Yes, Dream Theater, Tool, grunge.
You know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna. I got this new job, and it's like a 25-30 minute drive from my place. So I think I'm gonna put on Rocks all the way there because it's like 35 minutes.
Perfect. Yeah, that
Yes.
should be, yeah. There's no really long songs. Have you never heard Rocks all the way through?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude,
Oh man.
my favorite Aerosmith song of all time is "Licking a Promise,"
Yeah.
and that's on the end of Rocks. And one of the first Aerosmith albums I ever got was a like compilation disc. It's called Aerosmith Gems, and it's just all the like deep tracks from like their like albums from the 70s. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of like the songs that I loved off that album I found out were on Rocks. So yeah, like, dude, I mean, I don't know. This is interesting. Now I'm like next week I get a review from Rocks from you because like you've got Rats in the Cellar, you've got I mean you're
Sick
gonna
as
go
a
back in
Dog.
the saddle. You've got Sick as a Dog, that's amazing. Nobody's Fault is such a heavy Aerosmith song. I said Sick as a Dog. What am I missing? Last Child, obviously you know that. And then Get the Let Out. That's a fun one too.
So basically the whole album.
Exactly.
straight up.
It's one of my
That's
favorite
why
albums
it's
of
a
all time.
9.8.
If you put a gun to my head and said what album's better, Aerosmith Rocks or Led Zeppelin 1, I'm like the hot take. I think Aerosmith Rocks is better than the first Led Zeppelin album.
Yeah.
Oh
Nice. That's a hot take.
Come at me, Twitter.
no, I've never heard that before. I'll have to do a side by side comparison now.
Yeah, I know they're completely different albums, but like it's just one of the most pure rock albums of all time. Like if someone said they'd never heard of rock and roll or like ever, they're like, what is that? I would put like
Oh my gosh.
it'd be like, you're getting like, I think like, what is the purest form of, like, what is rock and roll in its purest form? And that's when I'm like AC/DC, like Van Halen 1, and then Aerosmith Rocks. Like those are like, and then Led Zeppelin 1 or 2 or 4 or whatever.
Yeah, my mom used to she used to have a whole bunch of CDs in the car and she would rotate them when I was a kid, and one of them was Big Ones, the Aerosmith compilation.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned Aerosmith. So
Hell yeah.
Dude, I love that. I love a good Aerosmith story.
Yeah, we kind of just went off the rails on the podcast because you bring up Aerosmith Rocks, like I'm gonna go in. Like
Dude, it's always a good chance,
yeah.
But
Last thing I'll say, and Greg, this will lead you in to something you want to talk about. A great cover of Last Child is by a band I love and was my last concerts before the pandemic, and that's a band called Dirty Honey. And they had an Amazon exclusive cover of Last Child, and they just recently put it on Spotify, I believe, as well. And
no way.
I believe, Greg, they have a new song coming out tomorrow.
I think so. Yeah, I've been following their Instagram like all week this week, and it's just like a countdown, and there's doors on each post. It's really weird, really cool, but I just want to see what happens. I want to hear it. I need it, and now I'll have to listen to that Last Child cover. I did not know they did that.
Yeah. So honestly, guys, when Dirty Honey played in Austin, I met the band, and I do have an email on my phone that could probably, hopefully, now they got a new album coming out. Maybe we can get Dirty Honey on as a guest. I'm saying that live on the pod, so that's a big risk. No guarantees, but it's in the realm of possibilities.
We're manifesting.
Yeah, I've learned in the last month or two that shit's real, so I'm just doing it all the time now.
Oh yeah, it's very real.
Very real.
It's very real.
Very real.
They so far like all we've got is this EP and Fire Away. Dude, okay, so I want a shirt with that artwork, the Dirty Honey with the lips. That looks so
I have that shirt.
Oh my god. Of course you do. Of course you do.
let me go get it.
Here, I can go change.
Oh man. Yeah, but that's such a cool logo. It's like a
modern take on the Rolling Stones logo, really.
That's exactly what I was
without ripping it off. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't look anything like it, but you could see the homage there.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like they're one of those bands that's gonna like get into their own sound more with this album. Hopefully, it's gonna be like their first full length album, right?
I think so. They are gonna be. I mean, I'm having flashbacks to seeing them live now. The energy they were able to create in a venue of like 200 people was insane, and
Huh.
so they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with in the next 5 to 10 years. Like this decade,
Okay.
like we talked about this last week, or maybe even like on the last published podcast, just about like I've got good feelings about this decade because if you look at the last 4 years of just how rock music is progressing, metal is mellowing out a little bit, and because I think if we're gonna look back on the last 10 years of music, and we're gonna like, oh, like rock and roll itself took a big back seat to metal, and metal was like maybe for the last 15 years has been like the mainstream like form of rock. I can name like a lot metal bands in the last 10 years that are bigger than actual rock bands. But I think, and we're going to look back at like the breakthrough of Greta Van Fleet, the like Dirty Honey coming up.
Oh yeah.
Airborne they were around for the last 10 years. They've been keeping rock and roll alive. So I'm excited. And I get chills talking about it. It's just a fun time.
Yeah, I also think that like I don't know, this might just be my opinion, but I think that like trap music like becoming really mainstream as well, like also kind of has that aggressiveness that metal also has. And so it's also kind of like going together, and that's why metal and mainstream like hip hop is like kind of going like getting better together.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Well, my whole opinion on like rock is dead, da 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 da, is what I think the reality it is that rock and roll just has a lot more genres to share now. Like, 20, 30 years ago, you didn't have all these different genres and you didn't have access to them because the radio formats become so useless because you can find music everywhere else now that people can explore. Like, our parents only had rock and roll and a couple other things to listen to. Granted, it was the best rock and roll that was ever made. Now, like, okay, like I know all about rock, but I really want to explore like EDM because it's such a young and exciting genre right now. And I think also in the last 10 years, when you've had like the rise of EDM and this other genres, like rock and roll just had to take a back seat for a decade. But dead, not even, because I think the reason why it can't die is because it's tangible. I've said this a million times on the podcast, but it's tangible music. I can listen to Back in Black. I can go grab my guitar, any of them on the wall in there, and I can play Back in Black. But you can show me a new Skrillex song, I'll be like, that's cool. But I can never have that connection to that music because it's just not made that way.
Right.
Yeah, but that's just with the equipment that you have.
Yes. Right. But you don't. I actually like need to Google that more. Like, do kids go like cover EDM songs on YouTube?
They probably could. Yeah, they could like grab like a beat machine, make it themselves, or like build the beat themselves.
Yeah, I just realized I just said something that I've always said, and I'm like, oh, maybe there's more to look into.
Well, okay. So one thing that always comes to mind whenever people talk about like metal and hip hop, or like rock and hip hop, like coming together, like blending genres a little bit, is that this rapper XXX Tentacion, or I don't know how to say his name properly. He passed away. Tentacion. Okay, he passed away really early, and he had a song that he sampled a Slipknot song called "Off the Wall." I think it was Make Bleed, right?
Yeah, I think I showed that to you. Didn't
yes, you did. Thank you. That was it's so good too.
Yeah, it's like the whack.
Yeah. It's so good. He like samples that perfectly over like him just like I guess rage rapping, but it's fun to play like loud in the car.
Nice.
For sure.
Connor, you should check out that song if you haven't already.
I haven't, but I'm interested. I've like
yeah, listen to Off the Wall by XXX.
Yeah, there was a time when I follow Nikki Sixx on Instagram, and he posts like quite a bit on there, so he's like on my feed regularly. I remember a while back, he was like, I can't believe my son showed me this rapper. I never listened to him before, and he's already passed away, and I can't get any more music from him. And he's just posting like all these things about how much he loves this guy. And so, okay, so if the bassist from Motley Crue loves this rapper, I gotta give him a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, new band, or not new band. Well, new band, new music that I skipped over. Song's been out 2 weeks. I can't stop listening to it. You're to Blame by Mammoth WVH, Wolfgang Van Halen.
Oh, dude.
Yes. One of the greatest rock songs I've heard in a long time. I know everyone's gonna be like, oh, Connor, massive Van Halen fan, like, you know, gonna be biased. Like, no, I wish I did not know that this was Wolfgang Van Halen, and I wish I could figure that out, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like so with Distance, you had the homage that, you know, that was amazing. We got the electric and acoustic versions, both beautiful. And then You're to Blame, like, just holy crap. That you just, any kind of thought that you had about what you think he was going to sound like before, just throw it the hell away and listen to You're to Blame. Like, this is the song that I think he's going to, like, just blow up. Like, this album is going to be amazing. The artwork is probably one of my favorite album artworks, like, in a long time.
Yeah.
That giant crab.
Dude, I saw that and it reminded me, like, there's just something so vintage about the way it's drawn. And it just, like, I was just like, I feel like if you went back and put that album cover, like, in the late 70s next to Van Halen 1, it would kind of fit. Like, it's like someone's like, oh, this must be new music too.
Oh, dude, you could totally Photoshop the Mammoth logo out and put, like, Dio or
no, it was not
or
metal.
Rush.
Yes, you could put there you go. I was gonna say, like, for some reason I got Scorpion vibes when I saw it, and I don't know why.
Ooh, okay.
There's not a naked chick on it, and that's all Scorpions did.
Yeah, it just reminds me of, like, the 50s, like, you know, like the
horror film,
spider horror movies, or, like, you know, The Birds, or classic horror movies. That's what that reminds me of. But
that was like H.P. Lovecraftian creatures.
Yeah. Right,
dude. You want to talk horror creatures? Let's go.
Do it, man.
No, I can't get into it. I was bluffing.
But yeah, that song is great. Both of them.
I was gonna ask if you guys pre-ordered the album yet, because you can do that at just Google Mammoth WVH. His website will pop up. Because I got lucky, and as soon as it was available for pre-order, I pre-ordered the limited edition CD and vinyl that comes signed. And I looked a little later in the day, and they were all sold out. So
nice.
That's
nice. Yeah, I unfortunately missed that, but I got the deal that he did with Walmart with the red vinyl. That's cool.
I'm like, I have a feeling like more of these, like, limited edition vinyls are gonna come out. I'm like, how many am I gonna collect? Like, I'm like, just get one and then, like, we're good.
Okay, so you know I have to make up for my last collection vinyl quote that I bought.
Oh, the Ghost,
the stupid Meliora splatter, whatever.
Hold on. Before we get into Ghost, I just want to say Wolfgang's album comes out in June 11th. Listen, You're to Blame. Amazing song. We'll close there, but I also want to talk about Ghost.
Okay.
After we'll recap. Last week on our Lost episode, you did a vinyl reveal.
Oh yeah, dude, that sucked. So I was all excited, and I was like, "Oh, guys, I got this from Revolver magazine. I saw the post, and I thought I had to get it. It's supposed to be a white vinyl with blue splatter on it."
Yeah, I'm like leaning into the camera. I'm like, wait, just pure white.
I'm opening it on camera here just for the guys and for y'all.
And you're like tilting it. You're like,
yeah, I'm trying to see where the blue is, because I'm taking the out of the sleeve. I'm like, okay, maybe I can't see it because the light's hitting it wrong. You guys can see it just fine because of the camera, you know. And you're just like, there's no blue. So I was like, oh crap, but I love it. My other one was scratched, so like right on the middle from the pinnacle up to the pit. So this is definitely gonna be like on the player still.
Awesome.
It'll come in handy.
So I'm a bad friend, and I forgot to message all this today. Maybe I did, but Ghost released a new music video yesterday for Life Eternal, and you guys are gonna like get emotional because like all it does, it's all footage from their last concert in Mexico, and at the end of 2019 when they debuted Papi Emeritus the Fourth.
Yeah.
So it's got fan footage, it's got pro shot footage of the show, and you see all the Ghost fans dressed up as ghouls, as like one of the Papas or Cardinal Copia, and I was just like, I miss my people. That's how like the vibe I got from. Like I just miss my fucking friends that you see at rock shows, the strangers that are your best friends. That's that I got that feeling. It just it emitted that emotion of like I have no idea who these people are. They live in a different country as me, but yet we share such a common bond for something so special.
Right. And you can like walk up to someone at a concert and just totally like be friends with them, like easily. With any doesn't not even metal, just in general.
Yeah, at a metal show you will meet the friendliest people on earth. Guaranteed.
Most of the time.
No, guaranteed.
Most of the time.
I always meet friendly people.
I'm talking about like
that asshole in the pit.
Yeah.
What? No. Besides that, there are always nice people.
98% of metalheads are awesome.
Yeah, there we go.
The other 2% listen to this podcast.
Man.
Nice. Good riff. Man. Oh, I love that shirt, by the way. For those of you listening, Connor's wearing a really cool Judas Priest shirt, which
it's a print from the Defenders of the Faith 1984 tour. It's got Rob Halford riding a fucking Harley on it.
That's amazing. I was gonna make Judas Priest album my recommendation this week, but I decided against it. And you wearing that shirt, it just was like a Connor knew. He knew.
Yeah, I was gonna wear. I forgot to wear. I feel like I was gonna wear a Ghost shirt. I feel like I wear one every other episode, but I'll meet that quota next week. I guess we'll see.
I need to lose some weight so I can wear more of my old metal shirts.
Dude, when I started, I've been like hitting the gym regularly for like 5 months now, and like that was a nice thing. I was like, oh my god, this Iron Maiden shirt used to like I used to have to wear it to like just to sleep in because it like barely cover my waist. But now I'm like, oh, it's a little bit looser, or like it's like a slim fit. So nice. It's if that's a great motivation to get into some shape or like getting to lose a little weight, that's great motivation. Because it's like, oh, like this is like one of my favorite concert T-shirts that I can't buy again. It's not like a Walmart Nirvana T-shirt.
Yeah, it's like I really want to clean out my closet, but a lot of them are real shirts that I really don't want to throw away.
No, dude, don't throw
or donate. I mean,
don't keep your concert shirts for yourself, man. Those,
yeah.
Like, I mean, look how much like the ones just from like 10, 15 years ago are going for now. Like that's, I mean, obviously, I have no idea if that's just a fashion trend or like part of history, but one of my favorite things to do is go to a thrift store that like knows what they're selling, and sometimes you can get a great deal on like a vintage Grateful Dead shirt from the 90s.
Oh, that's something I really want to do, like in Austin, maybe Dallas. Maybe
I don't have a great thrift store in Austin yet, but there's 2 in San Marcos that I really love.
Dude, Austin has so many good thrift stores.
I know. I just haven't taken the time to go do it. I know they exist.
They're more on the south side than up north, like by you. Like Thriftland, Treasure City Thrift. Those are 2 that I absolutely loved out there. But yeah, I didn't find any like cool shirts until like concert shirts until I moved to Houston, and I got that Aerosmith bleached shirt that I was wearing the other day.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to believe in this shirt that I'm wearing underneath this right now. It's a Maxo Cream shirt. It's too small, but it's comfy.
That's a cool shirt.
Oh, here.
I mean, you can't see it if you're
here. For those of you who are.
Yeah, for those of you not or listening, it's just a Maxo Cream shirt.
Yeah.
It's badass.
H-Time, Loaded On. But yeah, dude, I want to get back to metal and rock. There's something that I wanted to talk to you guys about, which I'm really excited about, and it's this Sex Pistols TV show that's being directed by Danny Boyle. And Those of you who don't know, he's an amazing director. And
What has he directed?
Yeah, what has he done?
you know,
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna have
Greg
to
hyped
Google
him
that real
up.
quick.
I put him on the spot. Let's see.
No, dude, I have to Google that. I can't
Pull
tell
up
you off
that
the spot.
IMDb page.
Nah, dude, I won't
What's his
Google
name?
it for you real quick. You Google it.
Dan,
It's Danny Boyle.
Danny
I'll
Boyle.
talk about what I want to talk about. You Google that if you want to. Danny Boyle's a cool director, all right?
Okay,
He's making
why?
this TV show for FX about the Sex Pistols, dude. Let me fucking talk. The Sex Pistols, man. They're one of the best punk bands ever. And they have these pictures like that they show side by side in the article about like the Sex Pistols performing and the actors that they have like portraying them. And it looks really freaking cool. Like I think this is gonna be 4 episodes. It's like a mini series. And dude, I think it's gonna be right up there with like The Dirt, honestly.
See, I was gonna say my initial opinion is like, okay, if it's only a 4-episode series, like FX, yeah, you can get pretty raunchy on there, but I feel like you'd like to properly tell their story. It needs to be on like HBO or Netflix where you can just get away with anything, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
I mean, you don't need to get the story across.
Okay,
I mean,
FYI, he directed 127 Hours, 28 Days Later, Slumdog Millionaire, and Yesterday. Those are some good movies.
Oh, Slumdog Millionaire.
okay, yeah, I would say that's a pretty impressive resume.
Yeah. So I don't have to Google him. Connor did. Y'all did if you were listening and paused it or whatever. But yeah, I'm excited for this show. I don't know when it comes out though. Don't know. Yeah, but
I bet it'd be good. Or
yeah,
decent. You know,
dude.
is it streaming or is it gonna be like on cable?
I think it's gonna be both. I think FX has like do they have like a streaming thing? Or like they're connected with like Hulu, right?
Oh, that's probably what it is.
I think so. I think they have a contract with Hulu.
Yeah.
I can't keep up all these streaming things anymore.
Dude, we need to get a company that's going to make a box with all the streaming services on it.
You mean a Roku?
No, like a cable box, but with streaming services.
All of them.
You mean a Roku?
That's basically what we've come to now. It's full circle.
Yeah, a Roku box is called,
dude, or like an Apple Smart TV or whatever. Or
yeah,
the Fire Stick, dude.
Yeah,
Fire Stick.
Technology exists, Greg, in many different forms. It's
ironic that we went away from the cable box for streaming services, and now all our streaming services are on one box.
Yeah, I mean, it's just evolved, but at least you the thing that because people are like, oh, I thought it was going to replace cable and save you money. Well, like you're still going to spend a good amount of money, but now you're not trapped into these terrible contracts. Like I use it already. So like I use for cable TV, I use Fubo TV, and during football season, I'll pay a little extra and split the bill with a friend, and then I have NFL Red Zone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then I'm not committed to that. So once football season's over, I just take that off my account and then my price goes back to normal. And then other than that, I would say top tier, like, all right, off topic on music, but I'll try to tie it into music somehow. If I had to pick my top 3 streaming services, oof. Netflix.
Oh, definitely. Like, I was going to say
gotta have
Spotify.
Netflix. Gotta have HBO Max is got an insane amount of content.
They have
more
really
expensive.
good movies on there.
It's more expensive, but they get you get your money's worth for sure because they have like top tier movies in every category.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Misery's on there, and that's the movie that I was watching right when our power went out before the winter storm.
Oh, Misery, the one where that lady.
It's based on a Stephen King book.
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
Yes, I think you were telling me about this. Did y'all know that movie is about Stephen King's addiction to cocaine? Like he doesn't remember writing that book because he was doing so much blow. Yeah, and you realize later it's the misery in the book is like his misery of being addicted.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, You learn some things when you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh my god, some things.
Yeah, I
Sometimes.
have heard that before.
Yeah. Yeah, and then third one, Disney Plus, just because I'm a big Marvel and Star Wars fan, and the amount of like content, I'm not gonna be able to watch other shows ever because of all the Star Wars and Marvel I'm gonna have to watch now.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, I haven't watched WandaVision yet, so like,
Dude, the
Okay.
next episode, the last episode
Oh,
premieres tonight, and I'm debating like
oh, tonight?
whether I want to stay up late to watch it or not, or and just
Do it.
watch it in the morning.
do
But
it. Stay up.
I gotta work out in the morning.
You
I
just
gotta- I
drank a
gotta-
Red Bull.
Well, you got me there.
I mean, you may crash.
I think you
after-
underestimate like how tired I can get. Like this is just keeping me going. Like I can pass out by 11.
Oh, all right. Well, shoot. I mean, if that's not enough time for you to watch that,
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway. All right.
dang.
I was there anything else we wanted to cover before we get into recommendations?
I mean, if you want to talk about the rock and roll nominees, those have been out for a while now. But
Yes. Yeah, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees. There's like 15. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
like-
name all of them. Only half of them that are rock. What
yeah,
I will
like
say,
Iron Maiden, Rage Against the Machine,
Devo.
Devo, and the Foo Fighters, and then like Tina Turner and Diane Warwick, Ella Cool J, Jay Z. There's just a few of them. Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the beating the dead horse argument now because I mean everyone said it. That's a real rock fan. Is just like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is really the Music Hall of Fame, and that's trash. And they should have other genre Hall of Fames. Like
That's
love
so true.
Jay Z. Jay Z's a legend, but he's not a rock and roll legend. And that's just like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so many non-rocks. Like anyway, Iron Maiden I hope goes in. Not many metal bands get love by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is a shame.
Well, I know there's like a way that I think there's a way that you can like check on updates for like how they're polling.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say there's a fan vote, and you can vote every day at like rockhall.com or something, or in person at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland.
If you're wearing a mask.
Why?
So-
Why would they need to wear a mask, Greg? What happened?
But they require a mask in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
Oh, really? Why?
because of the pandemic that we're currently going through.
Oh, what pandemic? I haven't heard about it.
Oh, well, man.
They don't talk about it a lot on Fox News. I'm sorry.
Jeez. No, I'm trying to find out where we can find like how they're polling right now. Just
I don't
like
think they
an update.
publicize that.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. I imagine Foo Fighters or Rage will win the
See
fan
current
vote
standings.
over. I mean, Foo Fighters is a shoe-in.
I just
Rage.
found the current standings.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. Okay. So Fela Kuti is number 1. Then Tina Turner at number 2. Foo Fighters at number 3. Iron Maiden number 4. The Go Go's at number 5. Let's see. Rage Against the Machine's at number 7 or number 8.
Dang, that's low for Rage.
Number
Yeah.
8. Yeah.
What'd you say what number one was?
Fela Kuti.
What
I'll have,
was
to
number
look,
two?
I'll have to look them up.
Can you say that word? Are we allowed to say that word?
What?
How
I'm
did
being an idiot.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure there's a reason that this person has 222,500 votes. Like, obviously, they're there for a reason. I have to go check that out.
how
Yeah,
do
we
you
probably
Holy crap.
someone out there is like just flipping out in their car, like because we have no idea who she is, who they are.
Well, I'm sorry if that's you. If you're listening, and
sorry,
that's you.
Karen.
No, they can't be a Karen because they're not yelling at us. And we can't hear it.
Yeah.
what's the name on the number one?
Fela Kuti. It's FELAKUTI.
FELA. Oh, whoops. FELA. Oh, okay.
I hope just to like sell this whole bit. I hope you're pronouncing it wrong.
Oh God.
Like just to like extra like icing on the cake for whoever's like just exploding in their car.
that. Oh man, I would feel terrible. I would feel so bad. I hate mispronouncing names. It's like one of my worst like things to do. I always ask, and I can't in this instance.
All right. Well,
That's the internet. Shoot.
let's let's get on some recommendations and
Oh,
get the hell out of here. I know someone apparently has a date tonight.
Oh yes,
Ooh.
man. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be like a very romantic, like candlelit.
All right. Anyways,
piano.
so my recommendation of the week.
Nah, dude, go ahead. I'll continue later.
My recommendation is This Love by Whitesnake?
Oh my god.
Best song ever.
Yeah. No, mine is Danzig 3, How the Gods Kill.
Holy shit, what a turnaround.
Exactly. I mean, it's just vintage Danzig. If you're not a Danzig fan, get on the train. I'd never I knew a couple songs. I never listened to this album in its entirety. I'm like, oh god, here's another thing I've been sleeping on. But favorite songs are How the Gods Kill, title track, Dirty Black Summer, Anything in Bodies, and I think the heaviest Danzig song I've ever heard, like it gives me Merciful Fate vibes, is called Do You Wear the Mark? And it's like almost thrash, kind of thrashy, and then halfway through it completely changes to a different song, like out of nowhere, and then it goes back. It packs a lot of music in 4 minutes, so it's already creeping in my top 5 Danzig songs. So
nice. Yeah, you sent us that last week. And I remember I was walking, it was a beautiful day out. I was like, okay, yeah, check this out. And I put this on, I'm like, oh, all right. I am rage walking now.
yeah.
I am speed walking.
Yeah, that was definitely like a fun listen. I'll have to listen to the rest of the album because I have not given that one a listen. But great rec. I love that. So, anyways, I'm going on a piano date tonight. They're gonna play Chopin's Best Works with the 1,000 candles like around us. It's gonna be very romantic.
Oh.
But my recommendation is gonna be Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion 1. Their 1991, the first album to come out in 1991, to come out after their eponymous Appetite for Destruction. I love this album a lot, though. Some of my favorite tracks, the first one just tells you what the album's going to be like. Is Right Next Door to Hell. It's such a fun track, and it gets you like in the mood to listen to the rest of the album. And then you've got their cover of Live and Let Die, one of the best rock cover songs of all time.
It's up there.
But, no, it's up there. Yeah, that's why I said it's one of. Okay, yeah, you can make that face all you want. For those listening, he's just giving me that weird face, like, eh. But then you've got Back Off Bitch, November Rain, beautiful rock ballad. The Garden is one of my favorite songs on this album.
All right, Greg, pop quiz. Who is the voice on The Garden?
What?
Who's the feature on The Garden?
The feature?
Yeah, the guy is like he sings in the song. Half of the song, he sings it.
Well, I don't know the feature on the song. I know that Duff does some of the lyrics sometimes, but I don't know the feature, man.
It's Alice Cooper.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Damn. No wonder. I love that. Yeah, oh man. I love him standing up to Gene, telling him like back off, that rock's not dead BS, whatever.
Wait, no, hold on. You're thinking he's on The Garden.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Back Off Bitch. So anyway, never mind.
No. Okay, but yeah, that's my rec. It's a great album, and it's a whole hour. So Evans, you can listen to it. First half on the way to work, second half on the way back.
Yes.
Yeah, I love this album too. Some of my favorites are like deep tracks are like Perfect Crime, You Ain't the First.
Oh yeah,
great breakup song, You Ain't the First. Like it's you listen to it after you get sad and you want to on your come up out of the breakup, play that song. It'll start the recovery process. Double Talk and Jive's a really fun song. I love it when they play it live. There's The Garden, but there's also The Garden of Eden, which is a fun song. And then
you saw them a couple years ago, right?
Yes, they played that live.
Yeah, nice. Okay, I was gonna ask. Thank you.
Yeah. And then Dead Horse and the last song on the album, Coma, is I didn't really get in that song until I saw him play it live, and I realized how brilliant of a song it is. But great recommendation, Greg.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, man.
Evan, send us home, buddy. What do you got?
All right, I'm gonna bring this back home with Bolt Thrower's Fourth Crusade. I've been listening to that album a lot lately, and my favorite song off of it is probably As the World Burns. It's super sick, really heavy, and like one of the lyrics is like, few shall survive the final war, our futile lives shall be no more.
Oh my gosh.
And that's like really like heavy death metal, and it's just really sick. Also a few good songs off of that album as well are Embers, We're Next to Conquer, and Ritual. Those are good. You should check them out.
Nice.
It's like one of the best Bolt Thrower albums.
Dude, this came out a year after Use Your Illusion. And what year did Danzig 3 come out?
Oh, that's 90s as well. Yeah, we just gave you 90s record.
Dude, 90s
Three
rock.
completely different 90s albums.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, that was, dude, and I love y'all. This is a great 1 year anniversary episode.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, here, actually, I'll end on that. Thank you to everyone who's supported us over the last year. We really didn't mean to start a podcast right before the music industry was going to shut down for the first time in history. But every week you guys have stuck in with us, supported us. And you know what? The easiest way to support us, if you're thinking right now, how can I continue to support them? If you don't follow us on any of our socials, that's like a great help. It just helps us know where our audience is at. It gives us an idea. Tell the friend about the podcast.
Yeah, just one friend, or maybe
one
three.
friend. It's one. You're like, hey, if we talk about AC/DC one week, and you're like, oh, I have a friend who's a huge AC/DC fan, send it to them.
Oh yeah,
and just keep listening. Contact us if you want us to talk about something. Message us on Instagram, louderthanhell_pod. Tweet at us, LTH Podcast, or comment on our Facebook wall at Louder Than Hell Podcast as well, I think. And also, if you've been watching and enjoying the videos on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, like the video. You know the drill. You guys are smart. Anyway, we will see you guys next week.